So let's talk about compartment syndrome. I actually recorded with my microphone during the trip, but it sounded something like this. There's a lot of trash in this cargo bike right now. My wife went to throw away some, and that's not pretty nice. So I'm gonna be recording from my home now. Stay tuned. So recording via microphone during the road didn't end well. So I guess I need to think about the gain on my microphone. And for now, it's gonna be convenient from my couch. So what I was actually talking about was my compartment syndrome operation or surgery. And the thing I thought was it was going to go well, because I googled before I did the operation, and everybody was like, yeah, I did the operation, everything went fine, my leg is now perfect. The doctor thought I had restless leg syndrome, and that's actually what my doctor also said. But after doing like a quick check just to get that thoughts out of the way, was doing a test. It's like a pressure test with your legs against the wall, and you do a the pressure test, like lifting your heels up, and they check your legs pressure, and it was quite high, so they knew that it was compartment syndrome. But I knew like a little bit that it could be complications, but when reading about it, it was like none of it. And I went to websites where they talked about it. I went on YouTube, and don't Google or YouTube compartment syndrome. You got two different compartment syndrome. One is like when you need to do it briefly, if you're in a car crash and your legs or arms or anything start pump up with blood, then it can really mess up your body. But this is a chronic compartment, and it's quite nasty surgery, I guess. And looking at inside of your body is kind of gross, really. I knew I was going to get better, and the pain was going to go out of the way. So I went to the doctor and got an appointment for a surgery, and he said that you're going to be home for 4 weeks. Or if it goes bad, you're going to be home more. But usually if you're swollen and everything turns out great, you're going to be home for about 4 weeks. But I've been home for 4 weeks now, and that's due to I did a surgery. It all went well. In about 1.5 hours, I was put to sleep, of course. Well, not like a dog, but I woke up 30 minutes later. The doctor came, and he told me like, yeah, everything went fine. You can bleed a little bit, but you can leave now. Be careful, but try to move to the bathroom, make dinner and stuff like that. Just move around, but not stressing your leg. So I got out of surgery. I fainted. I got out and fainted. So when I woke up, more or less, I checked my leg and was totally bleeding, and it was a lot of blood. I took a picture on it, but I really don't want to show my leg how much it was bleeding. After that, I called back to the hospital and I said, hey, look, I fainted and there's a lot of blood. Can I come back up? And they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. We get you patched up again. So I went up there. They took off the band-aid, the patch, and they were pushing the leg a little bit, and through the stitches squirted out a lot of blood. Like one nurse got it all over her, and she was like, "Yeah, I need some help here. I need some help." So it was like 5 nurses just stopping the bleeding, and I started to get a little bit scared. It's not like scared I'm going to die, but you know, your leg is gushing out blood. So what I thought was, they need to get help. They are all nurses. It's a wake up department at the hospital, so they need help from a real doctor, I guess, or something. Just help me, please. And they called for a doctor, and they called in the corridor like, "We need help here right now." And people like started looking, starting to help out. So a doctor came, and she was like, "Stop pushing, or stop squirting blood everywhere. You're emptying him on blood." I was like, "Oh shit!" The doctor just told them to stop what they're doing, and could probably end up bad for me. So the doctor like, "Yeah, you have a bleeding, and we need to patch you up, and let's see how it goes." So she started patching me up. Not really do anything about the bleeding, but just put some pressure on there, on the surgery spot, or whatever you call it. So I had to wait for about 3 hours until I got an okay that I stopped the bleeding, and the bleeding stopped. So I was glad just to get home. So I went home, and everything was fine. The leg stopped to bleed, but my leg only got bigger and bigger and bigger for a few days. And after 4 days, I think, after the surgery, my leg was so big and so painfully, I just needed to get an appointment with a doctor again, because it's starting to hurt a lot. So I got a new appointment with the same doctor that operated my leg, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a lot of bleeding, and it's very swollen, and it's gonna be like this for a long time." So I was like, why this? So he's like, "It's not that it's dangerous, because if your leg wasn't cut like this, it would be an emergency operation on compartment. But now the blood can be like free in my leg, so it's not really a problem anymore. So the blood can just, the body will take care of the blood eventually, but probably you will be home a little bit longer." So I was like, "Yeah, fun times. Sure, the snow is going to come, and I need to get my condition back. I'm just going to sit home, getting fat, and it's going to be snow and hard times commuting to work, I guess. Or at least harder, putting on some weight, I guess." But then again, 2 weeks passed, and my legs starting to get better. And my wife told me like, "Yeah, it's 2 weeks now. Let's get rid of the stitches." And we got rid of the stitches on my right leg. She did an excellent job. Then we started to think about my bad leg, my left leg. And she was like, "I don't think we should get rid of these stitches, because it's quite swollen. I think it's starting to get infected, and you need probably to see a doctor, because it's starting to get mushy and white, and you know." So I got a new appointment for 1 week ago. That's 3 weeks after the operation. And I got the same doctor again who did the operation. And he was like, "Yeah, we can get a few stitches out, but it's healing okay. It's taken a long time, but it needs to take the time it does." So he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some needles and stuff, like get rid of those stitches." Then he came back and started to pulling out stitches, and I'm lying down watching the ceiling, and he was like, "Now your stitches are gone." And I was like, "There's a little hole there in my leg. I can see it. Shouldn't there be stitches around that or something?" He was like, "No, it needs to heal." So just be careful, just do your thing, just walk around, be easy on the leg, and it will heal afterwards. So 2 days ago, that's 5 days, 4 or 5 days from the last time I met the doctor. So we watched under the patch, and so we took off the patch to see, because it's starting to bleed a little bit, and it was like white colorish, like light blood, and we took it off. The leg has opened like two fingers of a size, and it's probably like 3 centimeters, I guess. So if I can actually push 2 fingers inside my leg. I can see my muscle sticking out, and I was like, how is this going to heal? So I called the hospital and I said, hey, I can see my front leg or front muscle, and it's starting to get white. My leg is broke. It's just split open for 3 centimeters. And she was like, yeah, it needs to heal from the bottom up. It's a little bit painful. It's more red. I'm quite sad. I'm actually quite sad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at my doctor. I'm not complaining about him or directly on him. But I feel like the stitches he took out was because the risk of infection. And I could see a tiny bit of my front leg. It was a bit red in there. But he was going like, yeah, we need to take the stitches out because the risk of infection. But now when my leg is split, I mean, hey, isn't that kind of crazy idea for an infection if your leg is split open? And I'm not going to show any pictures of my leg because you can get lightheaded and it looks kind of nasty. People shouldn't be able to see the inside of the body. Really, it's not nice. It's weird. It's really weird for me. I guess I think I'm a little bit more lightheaded since I got kids. I'm not that kind of person who actually gets scared of stuff. But since I got my kids, I'm more scared now for anything, or maybe dying, or of course my kids dying or happening anything to them, but overall more scared of something happening. But now when my legs open, I'm going like, I can't get to work. I can't get back to my normal life. What I think, if you're home enough for a long time, you actually get kind of convenient about it. You want to stay home. You get more sick being home, not doing anything. That's why people who get long-term vacations or long-term at home due to psychological health issues or something, they can't get to work or get back to the normal living because they have been home too much. They get convenient. Some people actually need to get home or stay at home, or they can't get to work with both physical and mental health. But for me, I'm starting to get too convenient. I'm eating what I shouldn't eat. I am so bored. I'm actually so bored right now. So I just need my work. It's my friends. It's also my friends. It's my working co-friends, co-buddies, but also my friends. I got more time with my family, sure, but it's not my normal life. I need to think about myself also, and being sick and not be able to work. That doubles the effect of the problem, I guess. What I want you to think about is, if you are going to do a compartment syndrome operation or surgery and you Google it, then you find that everything is going well, it's sweet, it's fantastic, and everything is just better with your legs and the pressure is gone. But it can have a few complications. And Sweden has one of the best health system in the world, they say. Stuff like this can happen, of course, wherever you are in the world, but still, it's not that easy. It's a lot of pain, for me at least. This is my version. And it's a lot of pain, it's a lot of boredom, and I just want to be back on track. So have you done the surgery, or did you enjoy the cycling? I know that my camera is a little bit off. I need to point it down a little bit more. I guess my belly gone bigger, and that's why it's pushing up the camera. I need to check my volume on my microphone. So after all, this is one more Let's Talk, and we have talked about compartment syndrome now. So let me know what you think, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and let's see what we're going to talk about next time. So I see you. Take care.